In this video, I'm going to give you a few tips on pruning and trimming your tomatoes to extend your season even further. So you can see here I have a few plants that are a little bit overgrown and need to get them a little bit under control so that more of the energy can go into ripening the tomatoes that are still coming on. So basically, in addition to pruning any suckers that are coming on like that, and by the way, I think a scissors works just fine for this kind of thing. You definitely don't want to just pull them off because you're gonna hurt the vines. But you can see here we have a stem, all right, and then you have some tomatoes coming off, you have some flowers coming here, but then these things here that are just shooting off the side, that is just a branch, and you don't need those. You can trim those off. So you can see here's another one. More. Really as many of those as you want to cut off, and then that'll make this easier to it'll take off some of the weight, and it will make it easier to tie up if you want to tie it up. So really you can just go through. You can see there most of the ones that are branches are pointing down. They're usually a little bit thicker in the leaves, and you can see kind of the new growth up here, that if you get rid of some of these leaves or branches, then you can give more energy out of the plant to the new growth and also to the ripening of the tomatoes that are coming on. And another advantage is that you can see it's really hard to see what's even in there because it's so thick. The foliage is so thick. So if you thin it out, it's a lot easier to see what you've got, and you don't miss anything and accidentally have something get overly ripe and ruined. So those are I'm going to do a little bit of this and then show you what it would look like after I get some of this cleared out and how much better it will look. So I'll be back. Alright, so you can see I've made some progress. Basically everything on the lower half of the plant that doesn't have a fruit on it, you don't need it. You can just trim it off. That will all be branches at that point. If it doesn't have a fruit on it, then it's a branch that you don't need. And so you want to keep you definitely want to keep the new growth at the top, but you also want to keep enough to provide some shade so that your tomatoes aren't completely exposed to the sun. But otherwise, you know, again, it opens up that airflow, and you know, puts the energy where you want it to be. I wanted to show you, this is a good example right here. So if you look right here, you have your main stem, and then right in that, here's the branch, and here's the sucker. So you don't need either the sucker or the branch. If you wanted to, you know, leave a couple of suckers to make more main stems, you could do that. But basically I would recommend you cut off the branch, which is coming out the side, and then the sucker, which was coming out of that armpit. And then all you need really is that main stem that's continuing to grow and produce flowers. So again, over here you have the stem, and you have the branches coming out, shooting out the side. Also, anything that has any yellowing at this stage of the season, cut it off, because it's most likely diseased, and that way it won't spread as fast. So you can just continue to trim off these branches coming out the side. and that'll clean up your plant really nice. And then if you want, you can tie it up again. If you have a stake tall enough, you can tie it up some more. Main thing is that you want to try and keep them up off the ground, and you want to keep them from bending over to where they break off. So if you can even prop it up, onto some other leaves on some other plants, just anything to keep it from breaking off or touching the ground. All right, so I wanted to give you a look at what it looks like after I have been pruning and trimming in here. Took out a lot of the branches, took out everything that's kind of on the lower end or the lower half, and you can see that the branches at the top are a lot lighter now, a lot easier to kind of prop up on each other, and you can see that the fruit has a lot more room to grow. And I need to get in there and harvest some of these ripe tomatoes, but they're doing really well, and I think that because these are indeterminate, they're going to keep growing and keep setting fruit, and until it freezes. So hopefully I'll continue to get a nice crop. You can see that I've trimmed off quite a lot. This is off of basically 4 plants, and quite a bit of foliage came off, so you don't need to be worried that you're going to hurt the plant. At this point, taking all that off is going to be very beneficial for the plant, so don't be afraid to really get in there and whack away at those branches. Alright, well, I hope you found that helpful, and I hope that your tomatoes are doing as well as mine, and I look forward to hearing from you. So please like the video if you can, and share it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Would love to hear from you in your comments if you have any other questions or want me to do videos on anything in particular. So thanks, and happy growing.